Nights Digest. Welcome.
Wednesday's Night Out.
Good to Great. Why some companies make the leap and others don't. By Jim Collins, co-author of best-selling Good to Great. Thursday, May 29, 2025, 092254. Good to Great Jim Collins acknowledgments. Without the significant contributions made by other people, this book would certainly not exist. The ultimate definition of success in life is that your spouse likes and respects you ever more as the years go by. By that measure, more than any other, I hope to be as successful as she is. Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, 090523. Chapter 1. Good is the enemy of great. That's what makes death so hard. Unsatisfied curiosity. Burl Markham. West with the Night. The remainder of this introductory chapter tells the story of our journey, outlines our research method, and previews the key findings. The Good to Great companies did not focus principally on what to do to become great. They focused equally on what not to do and what to stop doing. Confront the brutal facts, yet never lose faith. Thursday, June 5, 2025, 094553. Chapter 2, Level 5 Leadership. You can accomplish anything in life, provided that you do not mind who gets the credit. Harry S. Truman. Every good to great company had level 5 leadership during the pivotal transition years. Level 5 hierarchy, a level 5 executive, builds enduring greatness through a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will. Level 4 effective leader catalyzes commitment to a vigorous pursuit of a clear and compelling vision, stimulating higher performance standards. Level 3 competent manager organizes people and resources toward the effective and efficient pursuit of predetermined objectives. Level 2 contributing team member contributes individual capabilities to the achievement of group objectives and works effectively with others in a group setting. Level 1, highly capable individual, makes productive contributions through talent, knowledge, skills, and good work habits. Level 5 leaders channel their ego needs away from themselves and into the larger goal of building a great company. Level 5 leaders are fanatically driven, infected with an incurable need to produce sustained results. Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, 092451. Chapter 3. First who, then what? There are going to be times when we can't wait for somebody. Now you're either on the bus or off the bus. Ken Casey. From the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe. If you get the right people on the bus, the right people in the right seats, and the wrong people off the bus, the right people in the right seats, and the wrong people off the bus, then we'll figure out how to take it someplace great. The good to great leaders understood three simple truths. First, if you begin with who rather than what, you can more easily adapt to a changing world. The purpose of a compensation system should not be to get the right behaviors from the wrong people, but to get the right people on the bus in the first place and to keep them there. The Nooker system did not aim to turn lazy people into hard workers, but to create an environment where hard-working people will thrive and lazy workers would either jump or get thrown off the bus. To be rigorous in people decisions means first becoming rigorous about top management people decisions. Practical discipline number 1. When in doubt, don't hire, keep looking. Practical discipline number 2. When you know you need to make a people change, act. Practical discipline 3. Put your best people on your biggest opportunities, not your biggest problem. Tuesday, June 10, 2025, 183020. Wednesday, June 11, 2025, 095219. Chapter 4. Confront the brutal facts, yet never lose faith. There is no worse mistake in public leadership than to hold out false hopes soon to be swept away. Winston S. Churchill. The hinge of faith. Indeed, through Burger, Mr. Hartford continued to be the dominant force on the board for nearly 20 years. A&P, never mind the fact that he was already dead. By the early 1990s, Kroger had rebuilt its entire system on the new model and was well on the way to becoming the number one grocery chain in America, a position it would attain in 1999. Meanwhile, A&P still had over half its stores in the old 1950s size and had dwindled to a sad remnant of a once great American institution. How do you manage in such a way as not to demotivate people? And one of the single most demotivating actions you can take is to hold out false hopes soon to be swept away by events. Each step along the way, Wurzel would keep asking questions until he had a clear picture of reality and its implications. Joe Coleman, standing in front of the mirror, pointing the finger right at himself, it became apparent that this was another Joe Coleman plan that didn't work. It may take a long time, but we will prevail. Step by step, day by day, month by month, the Fannie Mae team rebuilt the entire business model around risk management and reshaped the corporate culture into a high performance machine that rivaled anything on Wall Street, eventually generating stock returns nearly 8 times the market over 15 years. Creating a climate where the truth is heard involves four basic practices. 1. Lead with questions, not answers. 2. Engage in dialogue and debate, not coercion. 3. Conduct autopsies, AUTOPSIES, without blame. 4. Build red flag mechanisms that turn information into information that cannot be ignored. One of the primary ways to demotivate people is to ignore the brutal facts of reality. Thursday, June 12, 2025, 191650. Chapter 5, The Hedgehog Concept. Simplicity within the three circles. Know thyself. Scribes of Delphi, via Pluto. For a hedgehog, anything that does not somehow relate to the hedgehog idea holds no relevance. You want to know what separates those who make the biggest impact from all the others who are just as smart. They're hedgehogs. Princeton professor Marvin Dressler. Fraud and the unconscious, Darwin and natural selection, Mark and class struggle, Einstein and relativity, Adam Smith and division of labor. They were all hedgehogs. They took a complex world and simplified it. Hedgehogs understand the essence of profound insight is simplicity. A hedgehog concept is not a goal to be the best, a strategy to be the best, an intention to be the best, a plan to be the best. It is an understanding of what you can be the best at. The distinction is absolutely crucial. Giving the hedgehog concept an iterative process, the council center of the circle diagram asks questions guided by the three circles, which is the diagram is at 1200. So at 1200, guided by the three circles. Dialogue and debate guided by the three circles is at 1500, which is 3 o'clock. Executive decisions guided by the circle is at 1600, which is 6 o'clock. Autopsies, AUTOPSIES, and analysts guided by the three circles is at 2100, which is 9 o'clock. Ask questions guided by the three circles is at 12 o'clock, midnight. Three circles of the hedgehog concept. What you are deeply passionate about, what you can be the best in the world at, what drives your economic engine. No matter how bad the industry, every good to great company figured out how to produce truly superior economic returns. Tuesday, June 17, 2025, 090356. Chapter 6, A Culture of Discipline. Freedom is only part of the story and half the truth. That is why I recommend that the Statue of Liberty on the East Coast be supplanted by a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast. Viktor E. Frankl. Man's search for meaning. The main points of this chapter, however, boil down to one central idea. Build a culture full of people who take disciplined action within the three circles. Fanatically consistent with the hedgehog concept, more precisely, this means the following. I this means the following. First, build a culture around the idea of freedom and responsibility within a framework. Two, fill that culture with self disciplined people who are willing to go to the extreme lengths to fulfill their responsibilities. The will rinse their cottage cheese. Three, don't confuse a culture of discipline with a tyrannical disciplinarian. Four, adhere with great consistency to the hedgehog concept, exercising an almost religious focus on the intersection of the three circles. Equally important, create a stop doing list, a systematic unplug, anything extraneous. You need the discipline to confront the brutal facts of reality while retaining resolute faith that you can and will create a path to greatness. The budget process is not about figuring out how much each activity gets, but about determining which activities best support the hedgehog concept and should be fully strengthened and which should be ultimately which should be eliminated entirely. Wednesday, June 18, 2025, 083446. Chapter 7, Technology Accelerators. Most men would rather die than think. Many do. Bertrand Russell. How do good to great organizations think differently about technology? Yes, when used right, when linked to a simple, clear, and coherent concept rooted in deep understanding. Technology is an essential driver in accelerating forward momentum. Thursday, June 19, 2025, 101630. Chapter 8, The Flywheel and the Doom Loop Revolution Means Turning the Wheel. Igor Stravinsky. Picture a huge, heavy flywheel, a massive metal disc mounted horizontally on an axle about 30 feet in diameter, 2 feet thick, and weighing about 5,000 pounds. Now imagine that your task is to get the flywheel rotating on the axle as fast as long as possible. The more you push, the faster it goes. Like Fannie Mae and Abbott, all the good to great companies effectively managed Wall Street during their build-up breakthrough years, and they saw no contradiction between the two. They simply focused on accumulating results, often practicing the time-honored discipline of under-promising and over-delivering. And as the result began to accumulate, as the flywheel built momentum, the investing community came along with great enthusiasm. The good to great companies understand a simple truth. Tremendous power exists in the fact of continued improvement and the delivery of results. Tuesday, June 24, 2025, 094646. Chapter 9, From Good to Great to Built to Last. It is your work in life that is the ultimate seduction. Pablo Picasso. Ultimately, the consistent application of both studies, good to great, built to last, one building upon the other, gives the best chance for creating greatness that lasts. Yes, turning good into great takes energy, but the building of momentum adds more energy back into the pool than it takes out. Tuesday, Jan- Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, 161209. Wednesday, June 25, 2025, 09262647. Epilogue. Frequently asked questions. Publicly traded corporations have two advantages for research: a widely agreed upon definition of results so we can rigorously select a study set, and a plethora of easily accessible data. I suggest that they use both good to great and built to last to help them better understand why they are great, so that they can keep doing the right things. Question: I'm not a CEO. What can I do with these findings? Plenty. The best answer I can give is to reread the story at the end of chapter 9 about the high school cross country coach. Wednesday, June 25, 2025, 182349. Reader's comment. Joseph's comment. I suggest that you read both books, Good to Great and Built to Last. They are definitely both good reads. Good to Great. Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't, by Jim Collins, co-author of best-selling Built to Last. Turnpike Plaza, 365, Rec Squad.